Well, hey, entrepreneurs, welcome back to another of our Ask Me Anything weekly sessions where for 20 minutes, we are answering your questions in real time. If you are joining me live, get over in my chat box and let me know what social media, marketing, or business questions you have because you're trying to grow a profitable business and you want to be smart about your social media marketing. And we will get as many answered as possible for you guys. But we also had some questions written in early, one of which is how do you actually go about putting your logo on an Instagram Live interview for your branding? So we talked all about how you can actually be kind of getting around the fact that you can't screen share on Instagram. We talked about a hack earlier last week, I think, about how you can be actually showing imagery to do this, and you can put yourself up in the top corner. If you've not checked out that video, make sure you do because it is a dang good one. So when it comes to creating a logo to put on Instagram Live, this is another one of those, oh no, Instagram doesn't let us do that, but there's a workaround. So when it comes to this, you actually have to be using that workaround to screen share. So you're going to be creating those images, you're going to be putting them on your phone, you're going to be putting them on your live stream and moving yourself, that camera view, up to that top corner. And at that point, you have the ability to have a colorful background or a solid background with words. You can put your different bullet points on there. You can actually go ahead and put things like your links and places you want to direct people to, and you're going to be able to put your logo there. So as you're doing that, you will be small on the screen. And if you have someone on for an interview, you can still do this. You will just be small on the screen and they will be the bottom half of the screen. So if you are doing a screen on-screen interview with someone, they're going to be down on the bottom, you'll be up on the top, you'll be onto the right-hand side of that, and then you can actually put your logo on an image there. And sometimes Instagram distorts it a little bit, so I recommend keeping that logo small and to the left top-hand corner of that image, and then maybe do a little testing before you go live with a guest if it's something you want to make sure that works really, really well. Otherwise, Instagram doesn't allow you to do it. You really just have to work on that hack. But Robert, thanks so much for hanging out with us this week. Great question. And we also hung out with some other fabulous people on our YouTube page this week. You are such an Instagram whiz, I swear. Thank you. When I start getting more active on the platform, I'm definitely going to come back and watch your videos. Yeah, Instagram is so incredibly helpful for entrepreneurs. It is one of the best pieces of real estate we have inside of the social media marketing world right now. And these are great ways that you can be doing that. So thank you, friends, so much for showing up. I know you've been watching through these, and I'm really excited to see when you jump in and actually do the Instagram thing, because I think it's going to work really well for you, friend. And I'm excited that you are here and hanging out and watching these videos and learning before you jump in. We got another great comment on one of our videos that says, thanks. I've always wondered how to split screen on Facebook. We were talking all about how to do more than one screen on Facebook, kind of like I've got going on right now, so that you can show more than one person. You can screen share. You can put up slides. You can have yourself on. You can have two different things on. And we talked all about how you can be doing that by using a platform called be.live inside of the screen share on Facebook video that we dropped earlier this week. Thanks so much for hanging out. We appreciate you guys being here. Wisdom for Wellbeings jumped onto one of our live stream replays. So last week we actually went on Instagram Live and we talked about, oh no, we didn't. That's the wrong video. We actually went on YouTube Live and we pulled up an Instagram account. So we had an author join me and she has been struggling a little bit with her Instagram account. So we actually pulled it up on screen and we critiqued her account live on air for you guys as part of the Social Media for Bosses talk show. And we talked about how she can make her captions more actionable. We talked about how she can change her bio to start bringing in more money and really inform people on who she is and what she does. We talked about the imagery that she's putting up. We talked about her frequency of posting. We really dug deep and came up with a couple really easy to do tweaks for her so that she can start making a more marketable Instagram account. And Wisdom for Wellbeings watched it and said, I would love to have you review my Instagram account. What do I need to have this experience? So typically, if I am reviewing an Instagram account, I'm being paid to do that. But I am actually running a new series here on the page where we are looking at different Instagram accounts, and we're just kind of seeing what tweaks we can make to make them a little bit better, a little bit more effective, a little more actionable, so people are getting better engagement and people are getting better leads on clients who are going to pay them. So when it comes to that, what you need to do is actually go to any one of my websites. You guys know I've got a couple of them. So you can go to socialmediaforbosses.com, which is all about the talk show and the podcast. You can go to camrobinson.com, which is where I've got all of my educational resources for you guys, or you can go to livestreamactionplan.com. And on any of those, you can email me. Whatever one you like. Any of them are fine. And you can say, hey, listen, I've got this Instagram account. I would like to come on your live stream and have you critique me live on air. And when that happens, what you got to realize is I'm bringing you on air in front of everybody, and we're showing off your Instagram account. So I will be pulling up your photos. I will be looking at when you're posting. I'll be looking at your captions. I'll be looking at your engagement. I'll be looking at your hashtags. And while we're live together, I'm going to be giving you some constructive ideas on how you can tweak it to be a little bit better. So I'm not going to come in and say, oh, this is terrible. I'm not going to come in and say, oh, this is not good. We're going to make sure that we are giving you good strategic tips for improving what you're doing. So we're going to look for the things that you're doing right. And we're going to look at those things that maybe we could tweak up a little bit to make them a little bit stronger for you. So it's a pretty easy experience, but you got to be willing to come on air and for me to show off your work on a live stream and talk about how we can make that better for you. And I would love for you to reach out. I'm only taking a handful of these. So I have to look at your accounts first, and I have to make sure that I can see that there are some tweaks we actually need to make. And then we'll pull you up for a live stream, and we'll be talking about how you and the viewers can make that just a little bit better, to make it a little more actionable and to make a little more profit off of the social media work that you are doing. So I hope you reach out. I would love to hear from you. And if any of you who are joining me live are interested in this, or you're on the replay, I would love to chat with you. I'm only taking on a couple, but I'm definitely looking for a couple more to do. So if it's an experience you want, if you want help, if you want active, engaged help, which I'm not charging you for, this is the place to do it. I would love to hear from you guys. Allison hung out and said, this is a great topic. I'm always curious to learn more about Instagram. We were actually chatting on one of our live streams here on YouTube about why people are suddenly getting all of these really great follow numbers and then suddenly they're disappearing. People are just losing followers and they're just nowhere to be found. And so we actually broke down why that is and why it's actually not a bad thing. Make sure you guys are checking out that video if you have not seen it yet. Regina Renee Williams hung out and said, very interesting point you made about intros on TV and on lives. And 3 seconds to get people's attention. I hadn't heard of messenger rooms. So this is actually a packed video where we were talking about whether or not you should be doing Instagram lives. And we talked about how to do effective Instagram lives. And it comes down to making sure you hook people immediately, not stalling, not stumbling, not waiting for people to show up. And we talk specifically about how you get 3 seconds to get somebody's attention before they click away from your video. And so these are really interesting points. And we kind of related it to some of the television that you're watching as well. So make sure you check that video out and why specifically you got to hook people within the first 3 seconds of your videos and live streams, or you're going to lose them. Thanks, Regina, for hanging out. We did get a great question that says, how can you get around the swipe function or the swipe up function without having the followers? So we were specifically talking about Instagram, and over on Instagram you do have to have a specific number of followers to get that swipe up feature, and you have to have a business account, which social media strategists don't always recommend that you are getting, even if you have those follower numbers. So when it comes to needing to do some swipe up work, how do you get around that if you don't have the followers? And there's actually a fun little hack for it. So here's the deal. You cannot swipe up and send people to a link. That's just not going to happen if you don't have the followers and you don't have that business account. But what you can do is create an IGTV video. So you're creating a video that is more than 1 minute long, because you have to have at least 1 minute, like more than 1 minute of content to get an IGTV video. And so you're creating a vertical video for IGTV, and you are going to be then putting your link in the description. So if you have a link you want to send somebody to, your newsletter, your website, a blog post, a podcast episode, what you have to do is create a teaser video. So if you're sending them to like a YouTube page, create a teaser video for it. If you're sending them to a blog post, create a teaser video for it. You got to do something to get their attention. You're going to put it over on IGTV, and you are going to ask your really good question in your caption, which is actually your title. So for this, you are looking at your title as the very first thing people are going to be seeing. And then in the description, you can include a link. On IGTV, you can have clickable links, unlike the Instagram main feed and Instagram stories. So if you need a clickable link, here's a life hack for you. Create an IGTV episode. Put your link in the caption, not in the description part, not in the title, but in the description part. And then push your IGTV video over to your main feed and to your Instagram stories. From there, people will be able to watch that teaser video and click over to finish watching the teaser video in your IGTV and then click on that link. It's not the exact swipe up feature, but it is a life hack around it, and it gives you clickable links. So if you go into IGTV, you are set because there's a clickable link there. You can send it to your website, your newsletter, your blog, your podcast, your videos, your whatever, and you can get that information distributed without having to struggle with people like typing it in manually or changing up your bio link, which we do not recommend you do. And it's a really great way to get around that, plus get content that the Instagram algorithm really, really likes. So the algorithm favors video. They favor live stream the most, but they favor video. And so when you're creating IGTV videos, they allow you to push it to the main feed, and they allow you to push it to Instagram stories, and they promote that content. So if you're posting videos on IGTV, that's going to get strongly promoted over any other type of content that you're posting on Instagram. So highly recommend you are taking advantage of this. Great question, friend. Thanks so much for hanging out. Allison also jumped into one of our other videos and said that I make it so simple to create virtual cons. Right now, the world is in lockdown. We are all stuck at home, and people are turning to the internet for their source of entertainment and education. And companies and businesses and brands are creating virtual conventions right now. I've done it in my businesses, and I've seen really, really strong connection to it, great engagement, and it's worked really, really well for getting views on my YouTube page. So if you guys are looking to create virtual cons, I actually break down step by step exactly how to do it. And then I continue the series and I break down all the little details. So I give you the great overview of how to do it and a couple of simple steps inside of that video. And then in the subsequent videos, we like legit break it down so you know exactly what you need, and you learn from some of my mistakes that I've made over the last couple of months so that you don't have to do what I did and suffer for it. All right. Danielle jumped into our Facebook page today, and she said, Facebook videos, do you recommend vertical or horizontal? So there have been a lot of studies when it comes to Facebook, the videos and the live streams. What we know is the best performing videos on Facebook are actually square. So if you are just creating a video and then posting it on Facebook, 100% try to go for square. If you can't do square, you're going to be better off doing horizontal as opposed to vertical, because that is what we're conditioned for. And a lot of people are viewing Facebook on their desktops, on their computers, as opposed to their phones, or they can just turn their phones. Now, this is not the same for Instagram. Instagram is going to be vertical over horizontal. But Facebook is horizontal over vertical, but square is always best on all the platforms. Square video performs better than anything else. Go figure, right? But when it comes to live streaming on Facebook, you do have the ability to either film vertically or horizontally. You should always be horizontal, not vertical, because you are going to need to repurpose this content, and it's going to go on YouTube. And it's going to go on your other social media platforms. And if you film vertically, you're going to get this really tight crop on your face, and it's not going to be cute. So you need to be filming horizontally, because that's how we see our world. We see our world in that horizontal view because of where our eyes are positioned. Yeah, we can look up and down, but the majority of our view is horizontal. So people lean naturally toward that horizontal view. So when you are live streaming on Facebook, always, always, always turn your phone so that it's horizontal, never vertical. If you are filming on Instagram, just to be very, very clear, Instagram only lets you film in vertical. If you turn it sideways, everyone's going to see you sideways, and they will not be able to view you without like tipping their head sideways or like maybe getting their phone to turn, maybe. So always, always, always on Facebook, film horizontal and then crop square if you need to. And then if you are going to repurpose this on IGTV, then you can turn it vertical and you can crop it in. That's fine. We've got videos on that, tutorials, like on-screen tutorials you can check out. But always, always, always film everything you do horizontally and then crop. The only time you should ever be filming vertically is if it's an Instagram live stream or if it's a video that you are only going to be putting on IGTV and not YouTube and not Facebook. Always, always, always go horizontal with your videos unless it's going to be 100% Instagram specific, because it's way easier to crop and adjust things from horizontal to vertical than it is from vertical to horizontal. Trust me, it's not pretty. All right. Let's move on. We've got a couple more questions we are going to get answered. And if you are joining me live, you got to pop them in that question box over there so that I can get those answered while we are on air for you today. And if we do not get to your questions today, because we've only got 4 more minutes, I better hustle. We've got 4 more minutes. So if I don't get to your questions, I will save them for next week and we'll get those answered for you as well. Or I'll take them over to our Instagram live this Friday, because you guys know we hang out every Friday at 4 p.m. on Instagram live. It's instagram.com/KMRobinsonSocial. And we hang out here every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern for you guys to get your questions answered in 20 minutes in real time. So you don't have to wait for me to make more videos, courses, content, all that fun stuff. We do it in real time for you guys. Carol says, thanks for sharing this information about IG Lives. We were talking all about when you should and should not be doing Instagram Lives in one of our recent Ask Me Anything sessions. Thanks, Carol, for hanging out. Appreciate you being here. Vivian says, wow, this is good. I will save this video. We were talking all about how to be doing Instagram Lives and answering a bunch of other social media marketing questions that you guys sent in. So make sure you check it out if you haven't. People are taking full advantage of our live Ask Me Anythings, and I love seeing you guys here. Thanks so much for joining me. Thanks for writing in early so we can give you guys priority and get your questions answered every single Wednesday here on YouTube and Friday over on Instagram Live. Danielle says, should you post at the same time every day to be consistent? Or should you change it up so that it doesn't look robotic? Now, Danielle, I know that you have been to our live streams before. I know that you watch all these videos, and I know you've heard some of these answers before. So you know already that if you're posting the same time or the same content or the same hashtags, the same things, it can start to look robotic. And if the algorithms think you're a bot, that could potentially hurt your account. It could keep your content from being seen. And it could, if you do it a lot, like if you're posting like the same hashtags consistently, like every single time, it could potentially be hazardous to your account and could potentially get you banned or shadow banned or like all sorts of things. So you do need to be a little bit careful about the content that you are posting if it's similar. However, if you're posting at the exact same time every day, that shouldn't hinder you. That's not really going to be a problem if you are posting it manually. Now, if you are using a website or an app or something to post on your behalf, then it looks like a bot. And then it's going to stop sending your content to the majority of your followers, because then it is a bot and it does look like a bot. And so we don't recommend that you're using third-party apps to be posting. You do need to be active and present on the account when you are posting whatever it is that you're posting. So you should be on the app about 10 minutes before you're posting and interacting with content, leaving comments, liking photos, doing some exploring, like be an active member of the community. Then post, then hang out for another 10 minutes and interact with other people so that you're there to interact with people if they're leaving comments as soon as you are posting. So you do need to show that you are an active and engaged member of the platform. And if you're posting manually, Instagram knows that you are there and active in the app. If you post and run, then you're going to start to get your feed shown less and less and less to people, because Instagram's entire goal is to get community and conversation happening on their platform. The longer people stay, the more ads they can serve them and the more money they can make. So if you do the equivalent of dining and dashing. If you just like drop and run your post, Instagram says, oh, this person doesn't care about the community. Why are we going to show their content to people? Because they're not there to then have a conversation with them. So if you drop your post and then interact for 5 minutes, Instagram says, oh, this person is here to have conversations and to have that community. We're going to show their post to more people. So if you drop your post at 3 p.m. every single day, that's fine, as long as you are there and an active member of the community and you are having conversations with people, you're leaving comments, you're interacting with other people's content, you're not just sitting there waiting for people to show up and support you. If you're supporting other people, you're good to go. Now, do I recommend that you post at the exact same minute every day? You could. I typically say within like 10 minutes on either side of your ideal time, you're going to be fine. So I know for one of my businesses, I do really, really well when I post at 8:45 Eastern in that particular business. I get the best interaction and the best engagement. Do I post at 8:45 on the dot every day? No. I post anytime between like 8:35 and 8:55. In fact, I typically I lean toward like between 8:40 and 9 o'clock. Like that tends to be my window. Anywhere in there, I get good engagement. And I do it a little bit different every day just because that's life. And I have things that I'm doing and things that are going on. And sometimes I get distracted talking to people. So anytime between that like 20-minute window, I'm happy with that. If you do post at 8:45 every single day, that's fine. Just be there to have conversations with other people. And if you post within a 20-minute window, you're also fine. But again, don't forget, you need to be there to have conversations with people. So it's not going to hurt you if you post at the exact same time if you're manually posting on your own. If you are using a third party, you're going to get dinged in the system no matter what you do. But at the exact same time every day could potentially ding you a little bit more. So what do I recommend? I recommend within a 20-minute window, you are figuring out your time that you want to post and be posting within that 20-minute window every single day. And then stick around for 5 minutes on either side, 5 to 10 minutes on either side to have conversations and interact with other people's content to show the algorithm that you're there and you're an active part of the community, because then they're going to kick your content out to more and more people because they know that you are there and you are being supportive. All right, friends, if you have more social media marketing questions, I would love to get those answered for you. Get into my comments, get into my chat box and let me know. We are at the end of our time for today, but I will be jumping on to Instagram.kmrobinsonsocial on Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern so that we can answer your questions over there in real time. And over there, I actually let you come on air with me. So if you have questions, you can drop them in my chat box, or you can come on and face-to-face ask me your questions. And that sometimes allows you to do some follow-up questions as well. So I would love to see you guys over there. Instagram.com/KMRobinsonSocial for all of the fun. I will see you on Friday. I'll see you on next Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern to get your social media questions answered here. And you are welcome to write those in live, so I give them priority just like we did today. And we will save anything in the chat for next week as well. And of course, we are dropping brand new videos and trainings here. So hit that subscribe and notification bell so you don't miss out on all the fun. I cannot wait to continue our conversation about Instagram, about live streaming, about Facebook, about social media marketing in general. Thanks so much for joining me. Let me know what you're struggling with so we can get that content created for you, and make sure you're hanging out with me over at socialmediaforbosses.com, kmrobinson.com, and livestreamactionplan.com. In fact, if you are in Livestream Action Plan, if you are one of our members, we've got some cool trainings for you coming up. We just had one a couple of days ago where we helped you make your graphics for your next live stream. But do I have some surprises planned for you guys? So stay tuned and get yourself over to the group, because I may or may not be dropping something in the next day or so that you guys really do not want to miss. I'll see you over there. Until then, I hope you all have a great day and stay inspired and